Well, it's been a few days. I thought I'd get back on here and I'd have time to make some videos. But then that's what you get for thinking, say. You think you're going to get a little extra time and you don't. It gets worse. It gets busier. Man, year's going by pretty fast. So, hot as it was today, I could use a little snow. So, anyways, folks, hope everything's going well for you. The 3, 4 people that listen, that tune in. Okay, let's get kind of serious here. The reason I got on here, okay, is there was some controversy in the rapture, okay. When you check it out, some will say, that was added and it wasn't supposed to be, and some say you'll hear as many different versions of it as there are people. The way I look at it is, if everyone was going to go that was supposed to go, God's people, God's church, we're supposed to go and be caught up in the rapture. Okay? And miss all the calamity and Armageddon and all that stuff. If that was the case, then why in Revelations does it say Jesus comes back, shortens the days, because if he didn't, if even his elect would perish? Well, with that right there, it says even his elect would perish. So obviously, let's say there is a rapture. Not everyone's taken. Especially, he leaves his elect. He leaves some of his elect or all of his elect behind. Which is it? I mean, I get it when it says, two will be in the field, one will be taken, two will be on the roof, one will be taken, two will be. Yeah, I get it. And that's where the controversy is. And the only reason I bring it up is that them birds, you think you think it's 1 in the morning and then the birds wouldn't be out here chirping around. I don't know what the hell's going on. Maybe Sam's chasing one around. But anyways, the thing of it is no matter how you look at it, you need to be right with God. And like I tried to explain before, one day you're a sinner and the next day you're right with God, and it just works that way, right? I'm not saying it can't. God is in the miracle business, okay? And everybody's different. God cherishes some more than others. This is the same God that Moses and Abraham and David and the list of people go. It's the same God. He has not changed one bit. It's the same. His word is still his word, has not changed. So with that being said, why in the rapture would he take some of his elect, some of his people, but not all? Do some come to Christ during Armageddon, during the calamity? Yeah, I'd say that's possible. There's going to be some that are not going to take the mark, and they will be eliminated. There'll be some that will not renounce God and will be eliminated. It's a whole bunch of things that's going to happen. And look at the world we're living in right now. There's always been scoffers out there that said, "Oh, they've been saying this forever, and this has happened and that's happened before, and it's still." God told you when it all comes together at once. They didn't have the technology, they didn't have the ways, the means, or anything else to do what they're doing today to bring it together, to take control. See, Satan, he's lawless. You can't believe anything he says. And he gets people off track. They're running this way and they're running that way, high and low. They're all over the map. They're spending a lot of energy, a lot of time, and they're taking the eye off the prize. And the prize is your salvation, eternity with the Lord, Christ. So people are all busy, running around to and fro and involved in the lawless bullshit that goes on out here. It's all trickster stuff. And then you have people like Brandon Joe Williams, people like him also, that they try to work within the system, and that's a smart thing to do. Because in their system, there's always rules to the exception. Because all their lies come to light. You see? So you'll find that's a lie, and that's a lie, and that's a lie. It'll all come out. You just got to dig for it. That's what people like Brandon do. And they're not wrong. They're right in what they're doing. My attitude is they never had the right in the first place, and I don't belong to them. I've went over it before. I don't think I really need to rehash it if you've watched it and heard it before. And the same thing with their contracts. Every contract they've ever had, they have violated. So there's no contract. It's null and void. And I won't rehash all that. It's just like some of the contract. Well, most of the contracts, you were never of age to consent. And your parents did not have the right to consent for you. Say. So, when it's all said and done, the devil works overtime. The lawless one, Satan, whatever you want to call it. Everybody's got their names. You could say Jesus, you say Christ, and somebody Yahweh, and I mean they go all kinds of other things out there, and that's all fine. I think God knows when you're talking about Him. He's smarter than us, and I think He knows when you're talking about the devil. Well, there again, God's smarter than us. He's got her figured out. He's already told you what's going to happen. See, there's no gotcha. See, in this system, the lawless system, there's always a gotcha. Oh, he gotcha. And they take great pride in that. See, God doesn't play the gotcha game. He lets you know where you stand right up front. He knows he knows everything. You're not going to play him for a fool. And that's that's the whole thing. You know, you're being played for a fool, and you're spending all this energy running around doing this and doing that. And at the end of the day, look around you. God already told you. All this rusts and decays and the moths eat it, and it just goes back to where it came from, the earth. So if you think you're going to build some legacy, you'll be some great ruler. You think all these things, your name will be stricken from everything. You think when Christ comes back, they're going to know who Hitler was, Mussolini, Mao, Genghis Khan? You think they're going to know any of these names? I venture to say, if you go out to California and stand on the beach like uh, uh, I can't remember his last name, Dice. He used to work for Jones, or even Jay Leno go out there and ask some questions to some of these younger, even some of the older people. They couldn't tell you who the hell Mao was, who Stalin was. Hitler, maybe, but maybe there's some of those that are like, huh, who, what? You see, they can't even remember that. So if you think you're some powerful person like Bill Gates will be stricken and cast into hell. Will he be saved? I cannot say he cannot be saved. I cannot say that. That's up to God. That's up to old Bill. I'm standing on the outside looking in. I don't know. See, there was three people up on those crosses. The center one was Jesus. And the one thief says what he said to Jesus. Jesus says, well, you and I is going to be in heaven. On the cross, hours before he died, maybe minutes, he was saved. Does that tell you anything? You cannot count yourself ever. You cannot count yourself out. Okay? You can't. Devil wants you to make you believe this horse shit. But he's a trickster and a deceiver and a liar. And God knows we got a lot of those around too. So folks, that's really all I got on here to say is don't let this don't let all the semantics and all the bullshit and all the controversy and stuff take you away from the prize, from where you're striving to be, where you're trying to go. And along the way, be happy and joyful. That's really what it's about. I mean, doing God's will, doing God's work, and praising the Lord and things like that, yes. But God's people are not bitter and unhappy and such. That's why you forgive. There's another guy out here that wants to tell you otherwise. I don't know. Doesn't seem straight to me, but doesn't seem right to me, but I don't know. He thinks he's right. So, well, man, I'm still pretty damn wet from just running around. So, always remember, pray for your enemy. Try to do right by your enemy. And in this world, God can still do anything He wants. Miracles happen. And if you give your life to Christ and let Him handle your situations and problems, so on and so forth, your life will be much better. I'm not going to say it'll be perfect, but it'll be much better. You don't know how awful it could be if He wasn't in charge. But there's still times you're still a man. And like David, I've probably said it before, I get sick of hearing it. But David was a man after God's own heart. He didn't stand back, and he wasn't afraid, he wasn't a coward. He slayed that giant with a rock. That's only half of it. That's the only part that they really want to talk about. But that they don't talk about, he's went over and grabbed Goliath's sword and chopped his head off. And the rest is history. That should speak volumes to you. That's caught in a body that decays and falls apart, and you name it. That's imperfect. That should speak volumes to you. See, there's things in this society, in this world, they don't want you to do, and they don't want you to know. They don't want you to have the power of God, because they can't defeat it. Satan knows his time's limited. He's scared to death, man. He's going to die. Not really die, but he's going to spend eternity. His soul will be dead, and he will spend eternity in hell. No way out. Forever and ever. No pardons. No, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. You suffered enough. None of that. Ever. Remember that. That goes for us too. We're just weak. I could go on and on, you know that. So, folks, you take care. Hopefully, I'll start making some videos on a regular basis here, because, getting away from this, it's too easy just to not come back and do it. It's easier just to go do other things I need to do. And I don't know, do I need to do this? The flack I catch sometimes from some people. But I do it to myself also. Yes, I use bad foul language. I know, and I know I shouldn't. But sometimes that's how you get people's attention. Maybe the wrong kind, but you get it. See, folks, all take care.